And we got losers of day 2 of the NFL free agency. But it is a new year, and that means one thing and one thing only. We got to start with Mike's thoughts.
And now, Mike's thoughts.
Deebo Samuels is moving or changing his number to number 1. He decided that the number he had is no longer good enough. He wants to change the number 1. Now, I got to thinking about this NFL rule change that happened, a couple years ago. They introduced the number 0 into the NFL, which is absolutely blasphemy and asinine. Who wants to be number 0 is stupid. And then they can say pretty much anybody can be any number that they want. This has confused the average viewer out there. Because when you look at numbers on the NFL, now is just a scrambled bunch of BS, right? Back in the old days, back in my day, right? Linebackers had like 40 to 59, right? Quarterbacks were 1 through 19, running backs were 20 through 39, receivers were 1 through 10, and then 80 to 89 or whatever it was. Linemen were 60 to 79. We pretty much knew by a number what position said person should be playing. Now linebackers are number 1, number 7, number 5. Running backs are number 88. Like, why? It is confusing for the average viewer. When the average viewer sees an lineman downfield, we can say, oh, number 69 is 5 yards downfield. We know that. But what happens when a lineman changes to number 7? Oh, but number 7 is an eligible number. Okay. I hate the number rules right now. I hate it. Go back to the old way. Absolutely hate it. We hate it. But Deebo Samuel, have fun being number 1. I mean, you can't get number 1 on the football field, so you might as well do it on your jersey. Cue that intro. Are you ready for the best damn NFL show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
Yeah, hey, let's go. Hitting that gridiron, we going hard, we running the plays. You know the vibe, only the strong survive. Gotta keep your head in the game. Talking NFL, uncut, straight raw. Steady bringing that sauce. We about to take off. Get it hype, this man, our sport talk. Yeah, from the quarterback to the lineman. Everybody bringing heat. You don't really want to try them. Hey, who gon' win? It's a battle of the giants. This show is the flyest. Nobody can deny it. This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception? This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception? Let's go.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Happy New Year. Happy 2024 NFL season. Today is the official start of the NFL season. It is also my mom's birthday as well. So happy birthday to Mama Buck out there. She'll be down here in a couple days to celebrate my little man's birthday and her birthday as well. It's going to be some grand old times. But guys, welcome to the Man Hour NFL Talk. Head over to NFLtoday.co. Check out the blog section. Check out the merchandise. Check out the forums. Oh, we got stats over there. Oh, we got post-game scores over there. We got pictures. We got news. We got everything happening over there at NFLtoday.co. And if you are not a Pigskin Pundit already, click on the link below in the description to become a Pigskin Pundit. Pigskin Pundit merch will be shipping out in a few weeks here. The second quarter merch is coming out. Be sure to sign up to get yours today. This is a live interactive show, guys. Comments are encouraged. Feel free to talk your stuff in the chat below. Start those fights, start those engagements, but be ready to defend yourself because this is live, raw, and this is uncut. And this is, we have the most toxic fan base out there. Comments are always toxic out there, but we gotta welcome some people into the show here. We got my man John Peoples in the chat. He says number 68 checking in. Number 68 still hasn't reported. Still hasn't reported, John. Sorry, man. He still has not reported. If you don't know, you don't know. but 68 was for the Detroit Lions Dallas Cowboys game. He allegedly reported eligible. Referee didn't hear him, threw him the touchdown pass that could have won the game, or it was a two-point conversion. Either way, it didn't happen. Dallas Cowboys ultimately still won that game. He says, good morning, Man Hour Nation. Good morning to you, John. Good morning. We got Caroline in the chat as well this morning. What is up, Caroline? Me and her have been having some healthy conversations offline here, and she is concerned about her Denver Broncos. Caroline is concerned about her Denver Broncos. They're cutting everybody. They're trading everybody. They're cleaning house, and the only people that are left right now is Sutton and Patrick Surtain the second. Not even the original. Patrick Surtain the second. Carolina is going to be okay. Denver Broncos going to be bad this year, 2024. They're going to be bad next year, 2025. They're probably going to be bad 26, 27, 29. Maybe by 2030, things start to shift for you a little bit. So you got 6 years of mediocrity at best, and it is what it is. But it'll be okay. It'll be okay. She should be Peyton. Peyton is toxic. He'll be okay. Sean Payton is a Hall of Fame coach. He'll be okay. It'll be okay. Right, Broncos fans? It'll be okay. Then she comes back and says, I just want Justin Simmons to get signed today. That's what I want to see. Listen, today is the official day of the NFL season. Teams can start signing. I think it's about 4 p.m. East Coast time is when the official league season starts there. Teams can officially start signing players, doing physical. So all those rumors that we've heard are not official yet, but they're pretty much my word to your word. We just got to put some ink to paper, right? So Derrick Henry to the Ravens, Tony Pollard to the Titans, Patrick Queen to the Steelers, right? Mac Jones traded to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Today it's all the formalities, as long as everything goes through and nothing decides to like, whoa, hang on, slow it down, baby. We also got my man Drew in the chat. Speaking of pigskin pundits, good morning to you, Drew. Drew's a pigskin pundit, along with John's a pigskin pundit as well. I love me some pigskin pundits, guys. But pigskin pundit merch will be shipped out, like I said, right around April 1st, second quarter. So expect about April 7th or so. I'm not for sure how the mail works wherever you guys are from, but here the mail sucks. But speaking of sucking, the Kansas City Chiefs do not suck. The Kansas City Chiefs are back-to-back Super Bowl champions. If you guys remember, just a couple years ago, Patrick Mahomes signed that massive $500 million deal. 10 years, $500 million. A lot of it was backloaded, and a lot of it was Kansas City Chiefs friendly, meaning they could do a lot of restructuring. And that's exactly what Patrick Mahomes did last night. Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs restructured his deal to free up $21.6 million in cap space. Not only does that solidify Chris Jones' contract, right? Give them more room to play with. But now they have $21 million to bring in a receiver, to bring in a potential new left tackle, to bring in a linebacker to replace Willie Gay. Maybe, just maybe, to pay my man L'Jarius Sneed. Either way, the Kansas City Chiefs have now $21.6 million now in cap space. Guys, winners win. Winners win. When I say winners win, Patrick Mahomes is a winner. Patrick Mahomes knows that he needs people around him. The reason why Patrick Mahomes signed this crazy deal a couple years ago, 10 years, $500 million, is because he knew he could restructure, they could rework, and when you lock in your guy for 10 plus years and with a very, very restructuring friendly deal, people like Chris Jones can get paid to get laid. People like L'Jarius Sneed can get paid to get laid. The people like Isaiah Pacheco can get paid to get laid. But at the end of the day, winners win, and the Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs have restructured their deal to free up $21.6 million. John says it's Starbuck, not Stabler. Still waiting on that jersey. John says, sold his soul to the devil. Patrick Mahomes sold his soul to the devil. I don't care. Sell your soul to the devil as long as he gives me 5 Super Bowl rings. I don't care. Gives me 6, give me 7, give me 8 for your firstborn. I don't care. Give it to me, baby. If you know, you know. But guys, it is a little bit of fact or a little bit of fact crap here on this beautiful hump day, beautiful Wednesday edition of Man Hour NFL Talk. We're going to talk a little bit about the AFC South. We're going to talk about the biggers, winners, and losers of that. We're going to talk about the Ravens, how they will no longer be the front runners in the NFC North. But I want to start off today's show about the winners and losers of day 2 of the NFL legal tampering aspect of it, right? Legal tampering means that you can talk to players without basically getting in trouble. Like I said, the league season does start today, so bada bing, bada boom, now everything will start to be official. But when we look back at day 2 of this NFL free agency thing, the winners of the day are coming from the AFC North. There are 2 teams that definitely killed day 2 of NFL free agency. Number 1 is the Baltimore Ravens. Now, we've all heard this rumors for many, many years now. Derrick Henry to the Ravens. Derrick Henry to the Ravens. Derrick Henry to the Ravens. The Ravens were willing to give up like a second and a third round pick for Derrick Henry last season. Titans were like, no. Titans basically let him walk in free agency, and the Baltimore Ravens signed him to a $14 million deal. 2 years, $14 million deal. Derrick Henry to the Baltimore Ravens is a huge deal. It is a huge deal. I've been saying this for a long, long time. This is almost a match made in heaven. You got the downhill runner of Derrick Henry, power, angry runs with the jiving of Lamar Jackson. The RPO game is going to be off the hook. Derrick Henry has only had one subpar 1,000-yard season in the last 6. He is a workhorse, and he should be the feature back in Baltimore along with Keaton Mitchell. Baltimore Ravens did win day number 2. Also, the winners of day number 2 are the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers decided, you know what? We are going to get an inside linebacker. We've been looking for an inside linebacker for many, many years. We've been doing it through the draft. We've been doing it through free agency. We've been trying to trade for one, but now we finally got our guy. Patrick Queen has officially been signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers to already top 10 defense in the league, which is huge, and they finally get their inside linebacker that they've been trying to get for years. So 2 winners of NFL free agency day number 2, the Baltimore Ravens getting Derrick Henry, and the Pittsburgh Steelers signing Patrick Queen. Guys, in the chat, in the comments below, who do you think won NFL free agency day number 2? Day number 2. John Twitches in the chat. Good morning to you, John. I cannot pop up that chat. Apparently, it's too big. He says the Chiefs offered 2 draft picks for Tomlin for Deontay Johnson. Steelers wanted a player too. I can't believe they only got a 5th rounder and a 24th ranked quarterback for him. Mahomes and Johnson would have lit it up, but it's not happening. So, so the Pittsburgh Steelers did trade Deontay Johnson for Deion Johnson, right? The Panthers cornerback. So the Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver, Carolina Panthers cornerback switch spots, and I believe the Steelers got a pick as well. Panthers definitely won that trade. It is what it is. But Drew says, Derrick Henry, I love how after Derrick Henry was announced to the Ravens, the Steelers signed Patrick Queen. Yeah, it was a yay. Oh, yeah. We are going to get deep into the Baltimore Ravens, how they've basically fumbled this free agency so far. But from day 2, they are a winner from signing Derrick Henry. Now, when we look at hindsight, we're going to see how big of losers they actually are. But yeah, it was a very big, right. Casey's Morgan's in the chat. Good morning, Casey. And he said they want at least a 2nd-round draft pick for Snead. What? They should want at least a 1st-round draft pick for L'Jarius Sneed. L'Jarius Sneed is the top cornerback in the NFL. He did not allow a touchdown till the Baltimore Ravens playoff game. Understand that. No, maybe it was the Buffalo Bills game. Either way, L'Jarius Sneed is the best cornerback in the league right now. Second round, no, he's going with first round pick and some dollar bills, yo. Drew thinks the Steelers won the day. Ravens signing Derrick Henry, Steelers signing Patrick Queen. Who won? Casey says Philly. I think they got the best deal with Saquon Barkley. Well, that was day one. Day one they did get Saquon Barkley, right? Was it $26 million deal? No, it's $49 million deal. $19 million. Or was it $19 million? $13 million. About $15 million a season for Saquon. That was day one. But day two, the biggest signings were Derrick Henry to the Ravens and obviously Patrick Queen to the Steelers. John says, Derrick Henry or not, Lamar Jackson will still be the leading rusher on that team. Lamar can't help it. He pulls the ball down and takes off. I think that has been my biggest knock of Lamar Jackson his whole career, is that he wants to take it upon himself to win the games, right? When things aren't quite going the way he wants them or expects them to go, he's like, you know what? Give me the ball. You hold my beer. I'm going to win this game. And it's a blessing and a curse, right? Because it's a blessing that he can do that. He does have that dynamic ability to go stretch the field and do amazing things. But the curse is you have your $200 million quarterback running around with his head chopped off, waiting to get murdered by Patrick Queen out there when you can just give the ball off to Derrick Henry. So we will see how that translates moving forward here. But let's jump back in the chat here. Caroline says, I feel bad for the Cowboys fans because Jerry Jones said they were all in and they haven't signed a free agent yet. Patrick Queen was a good signing for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's talk a little bit about the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys don't need a lot of help. The Dallas Cowboys have a very good roster constructed, right? Now, they did lose Tony Pollard to free agency. How are they going to address that running back situation? Could be via draft. There are some other pieces out there still. We saw the Minnesota Vikings. We just talked about them yesterday. They have 5 running backs on their roster. The Baltimore Ravens have 4 running backs on their roster. There's going to be somebody that is going to get cut somewhere down the line that still has legs left in them, whether it be Cam Akers, whether it be Dalvin Cook, whether it be Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, right? Somebody's going to come free, and the Dallas Cowboys will hopefully jump on that situation moving forward. But as a Cowboys fan, passive Cowboys fan, they're my number 2 team. I'm not hurt about anything. I just hope that we nail the draft, and it is what it is. John says, I like Wilkins' acquisition to the Raiders. That was a very good day one acquisition as well. And he signed, like a $94 million deal or something crazy. That man got paid. Casey says, are you surprised, though? They still think Dak is the GOAT. I don't think Dak is the GOAT, but Dak is a very serviceable quarterback. When you look at the top quarterbacks in the NFL, we spoke about this 2 weeks ago. Dak Prescott is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. When you look at quarterbacks across the landscape right now, I can tell you 3, maybe 4 guys better than Dak Prescott off the top of my head right now. Who I would take on my team: Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jared Goff, probably Matthew Stafford. Other than that, Dak Prescott is right there. Dak Prescott's a really, really good quarterback. Just hopefully he is a game manager. Let's just be honest. Dak Prescott is a game managing quarterback. He's not going to go out there and win you a bunch of games. He can put up the stats. He can put up the numbers if he needs to, but he shouldn't have to. Draft one, plain and simple, says John. Dallas Cowboys don't need to go out and get a running back. They're just going to draft one. Drew says Cowboys will not advance until they get rid of Jerry Jones. Why do you guys think that Jerry Jones is the roadblock for the Dallas Cowboys malfunctions in the playoffs? When we look at the Dallas Cowboys malfunction in the playoffs last season, they hit a very, very, very hot team in the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Jones is still running untouched. Aaron Jones had a nice little 4 or 5 game run there where he was unstoppable. Jerry Jones did not play bad on defense. Jerry Jones did not throw that interception that Dak Prescott threw. Jerry Jones did not tackle. That's a double negative. But Jerry Jones was not out there trying to tackle Aaron Jones. Jerry Jones puts out a damn good team. Every year, year in and year out, Jerry Jones is putting up a top caliber team. And you guys are upset about it? CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, Dak Prescott, right? Stop. It's not Jerry Jones' fault. Sinbad's son. What? Caroline says McKinney. McKinney to me was a good signing for the first day. He wasn't a top acquisition, but it was a good signing. But when we look at day 2 here, we got winners, the Ravens and Steelers, and then we got the losers. The losers are from the Midway in Illinois, and that is the one and only the Chicago Bears. The first losers of the day 2 are the Chicago Bears. We all thought Justin Fields was going to get traded at some point. Traded, released, something was going to happen with Justin Fields. Plan 1 fell through, Atlanta Falcons. Plan 2, Pittsburgh Steelers, fell through. Plan 3, Minnesota Vikings, fell through. Plan 4, Las Vegas Raiders, fell through. The whole point of this free agent period for the Chicago Bears was to get Justin Fields out of town. It seems very, very silly to me to keep him post-draft unless you're going to keep him long-term. So one of the biggest losers of day 2 are the Chicago Bears again. By not moving Justin Fields, they are the losers of day 2. They need to get Justin Fields out of town. If you are not sold on Justin Fields, it is time to move on from him. It is time to take what you can get and move on. Me and my wife just bought new furniture in the house. We put it up on Facebook Marketplace for like $60. Nobody wanted it, so we put it out on the curb, put a free sign on it, and somebody take it away. We took what we could get out of it. That's exactly what the Chicago Bears need to do with Justin Fields at this point. I don't care if it's a Mac Jones trade-off or 6th-round draft pick. I don't care if it's a 3rd-round draft pick, 4th-round draft pick, whatever. Whether it's Justin Fields for our backup kicker, get some type of compensation out of it and move on. If Justin Fields isn't your guy, stop dangling the carrot out there because quarterback positions are filling up quick. Jacoby Brissett to the New England Patriots. Sam Darnold to the Vikings. Kirk Cousins to the Falcons. Russell Wilson to the Steelers. Jameis Winston signed with the Browns. Who signed with the Commanders? The backup bridge quarterback system is filling up quick, and that's what Justin Fields is going to be. He is going to be a backup or a bridge quarterback at this point right now. The suitors for Justin Fields are getting very narrower and narrower and narrower. And teams like the Raiders, teams like let's say the Jets, teams like the Patriots, here's a 7th round pick. Here's a 6.5 half round pick. They know that the market for Justin Fields is shrinking and the price value is getting lower and lower and lower. Loser number 2 of the day is Jimmy G. Raiders signed Gardner Minshew. Still have Adrian O'Connell on the roster. Jimmy G is suspended for the first 2 games of the season for performance-enhancing drugs. The Botox, I guess, turned into steroids. But Jimmy G is once again being pushed out the door. Jimmy G is the loser of day number 2 as well. Being pushed out the door by the San Francisco 49ers and the Las Vegas Raiders it's a loser mentality at the point of the day. Which to me is absolutely crazy because every time Jimmy G plays a full NFL season, he leads you to the NFL championship. He leads you to your conference championship game, whether it's the AFC, whether it's the NFC. He plays 16, 17 games. He's leading you to the championship. So loser number 2, Jimmy G. So 2 losers of the day, the Chicago Bears and Jimmy G. Guys, let me know in the comments below. Who do you think losers are day of number 2? Caroline says Justin Fields still's got Denver. So we spoke about this yesterday, and I believe it was Casey that brought it up, if I'm not mistaken. He said Justin Fields to the Denver Broncos makes sense. Justin Fields to the Denver Broncos makes sense. Justin Fields and the Denver Broncos makes sense. I was talking about it. I was thinking about it. I was analyzing it, and the more I thought about it, the more I liked it. The more I talked about it, the more I liked it. But now I sit back, I slept on it, and I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Because the Denver Broncos are in a complete rebuild mode, Caroline. You know this. You see your team getting gutted from the inside out. Russell Wilson, Jerry Jeudy, the linebacker, the kicker, everybody's getting disbanded, cut, released, traded, whatever, right? What do you do when a team is complete shambles and a complete rebuild mode and a complete overhaul? What do? You draft a franchise quarterback. You draft a quarterback that is willing to go through the pain and struggle with you to be great. You don't bring in a fourth-year guy like Justin Fields. You don't bring in a veteran like Jimmy G. You don't bring in a journeyman like Chase Daniels. You start fresh. Clean slate, start fresh. J.J. McCarthy to the Denver Broncos makes sense. Bo Nix to the Denver Broncos makes sense. Michael Penix Jr. to the Denver Broncos makes sense. Justin Fields doesn't make sense anymore. I was all about the hype, Casey and Caroline and whoever else said it. I was all about the hype. I was buying into it, and I loved me some Justin Fields to the Denver Broncos. I sat on it. I slept on it. I don't like it. That is one of the advantages of being live, raw, and like uncut is we can speak on our emotions, and I was excited about it. I was like, yes, it makes sense. It makes sense. But I saw it back, I'm like, no. Just like this, Jimmy G to the Broncos is good. No. Denver Broncos, you guys are a complete rebuild mode. You are being gutted like a fish right now. You are cut open. There goes the stomach. There goes the intestines. There goes the gallbladder. There goes the heart. There goes the lungs, whatever, right? The only thing you have left is like a flailing, yummy, man, I love you some fish. Some skin. You got to put some heart, you got to put some soul back into that fish. Jimmy G isn't going to bring the heart, soul to the fish. Justin Fields isn't going to bring that heart, soul, and heart to the fish. J.J. McCarthy, Bo Nix makes sense. Draft a quarterback at this particular point. Draft him. You have 5 years to build around him. It is what it is. Caroline says, okay, so basically a college quarterback, we're going to draft a college quarterback for the season for the long term. Yes. That is, you are a top 10 draft pick for a reason. It's usually because your team sucks. If you are a top 10 pick in the NFL draft, it's usually because your team sucks. Now, there are outliers like the Chicago Bears that are the first overall pick. They aren't as bad, but that's what happens when you trade your first-round draft pick the previous year and the other team sucks. The point of the matter is the Denver Broncos are in complete rebuild mode. Long-term, J.J. McCarthy, Bo Nix is the answer in Denver. Casey says Denver is a fire sale working for the first-round draft pick next season. Yes. Draft your quarterback now. I think there are many franchise quarterbacks in this year's draft. You have Drake May, Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, Penix Jr. I think those 4 guys are going to probably have the best NFL careers out of everybody. Get your quarterback. Then next year, get yourself some linemen. I mean, you still have Sutton, right? The free agent wide receiver market is still wide open. Nobody has been signed. Ridley hasn't been signed. OBJ hasn't been signed. Michael Gallup, right? There's a bunch of receivers out there. You can go out and get a couple. I don't know. It is what it is. Caroline says, yeah, we need somebody fresh, new. And I agree with you on that. Finally, somebody sees my point of view. Thank you. Aaron Snyder's in the chat says, I missed it. Why are the Ravens no longer top dogs? What is your take? We'll be talking about that here coming up here on the Factor Crap. It's here in about 2 minutes. Caroline says, I want us to get JJ McCarty or Bo Nix. I spelled his name right. I think he spelled JJ McCarty right. I don't know. Is it McCarty or McCarthy? I'm not for sure. The Michigan quarterback, the sexy, good-looking guy. But guys, those are day 2 winners and losers. Winners are Ravens and Steelers. Losers are Chicago Bears and GBG. Next up here on this beautiful Wednesday edition of Man NFL, Man Hour NFL Talk. That was like a big slur. It's Factor Crap Wednesday here, guys. Factor Crap is very, very simple. We see a lot of movements happening across the NFL landscape. We see a lot of bit of this. We see a little bit of that. We see a little bit of that. This, and whatever, right? We're going to determine whether the statement is indeed a fact or if it is a crap. Play along in the comments below, guys. It is Factor Crap Wednesday, and we're going to start with the AFC South. We are going to start with the AFC South. Actually, the Houston Texans. Last season, the Houston Texans came out of nowhere to win the NFC South and the AFC South, and they also won their first round playoff game over the Cleveland Browns. So, guys, is it a fact or is it a crap that the Houston Texans will repeat as AFC South division winners in 2024? Guys, the Houston Texans have had a They've had a great first day of free agency. First day 1 and day 2, right? They get Joe Mixon. They get Danielle Hunter to add that running back depth with Dameon Pierce. They bring back Dalton Schultz. They added a lot of key pieces. It seemed like everybody and their dog was going to the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans are building for the future right now. However, the Jacksonville Jaguars did add Mac Jones. Nice little insurance policy so when Trevor Lawrence bangs up his ankle like again, they have a nice little bridge quarterback for the next few games. Carolina Panthers did steal the Deontay Johnson, the former Steelers wide receiver, as well. The Titans also got Tony Pollard. Anthony Richards is coming back from the Colts. The AFC South guys is looking pretty damn good. Bunch of second-year coaches, bunch of second-year quarterbacks, a bunch of up-and-coming rising stars. So is it a fact or is it a crap that the Houston Texans can repeat as Division South winners? Guys, that is a crap. That is a crap. Although the Houston Texans are in a very good spot and put a lot of good pieces together, last season, they had a 4th-place schedule. Last season, they had a very easy slate of games. This year, 2024, they now have a 1st-place schedule. Their slate of games got a hell of a lot harder. The Indianapolis Colts were right there all season long. With all those injuries, they were still right there. The Jags kind of had a step back, but I think they'll bounce back in 2024. Added some good pieces, right? Added Gabe Davis. Should be bringing out Calvin Ridley back as well. We'll see. But don't sleep on the Titans either, guys. So it is a crap. I do not think that the Houston Texans will repeat as AFC South division champions. If I had to pick a championship, a AFC South champion right now, I'm going to go with the Indianapolis Colts. Yes, they did lose Zach Moss, but Anthony Richards is back. Michael Pittman Jr. signed. Defense is still intact. Offensive line is still pretty damn good. Let me guys know, guys, is it a fact or is it a crap that the Houston Texans will repeat in 2024 as the AFC South division champions? Casey Morgan says, my Chiefs need to get themselves a vet receiver. No, they don't. They just need to draft a good one. Let's see here. Drew says it is a fact. It is a fact that the Houston Texans will repeat. Houston Texans will be 2-time back-to-back AFC South champions. Fact. James also says, fact, Houston is going to run the AFC South the next few years. Guys, isn't it crazy how about this time last season, we were speaking of how bad the AFC South was? Obviously, this was before the Houston Texans drafted C.J. Stroud. He had an incredible season. This was before the Colts drafted Anthony Richardson, had a pretty good 4 games. This was before the Titans, had a quarterback and possibly in Will Levis. I don't know. The AFC South could possibly be the most competitive division in football. From top to bottom, they're going to be really, really even. It's going to be 1 game separation. If somebody ties, it could freak up the whole thing. Right? But you got the Jaguars, Titans, Colts, and Texans. All pretty good teams, all pretty up and coming as well. They took Townsend from the Chiefs as well. Yeah, they signed a punter. Good job. CJ was a rookie, and yes, he will step up with a new talent, and yes, they will repeat, says John. They will repeat. No question about it in my mind, they're going to repeat, he says. Okay. Do not underestimate Stroud. I'm not underestimating CJ Stroud. I'm just not underestimating the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm not underestimating the Indianapolis Colts. I'm not underestimating the potential that the Tennessee Titans could be a really good team still. That is what I'm not underestimating. I'm not trying to dog the Houston Texans by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just trying to keep it 100. When you go from the easiest schedule in the NFL to the hardest schedule in the NFL, you are bound to slip up. And it's not like they destroyed their schedule by any stretch of the imagination. They had to win week 18 to make the playoffs. I'm starting to sound like a hater now. Starting to sound like a hater. James says it's just not CJ. I think they have the best head coach in that division. DeMeco Ryans is a very, very good head coach. I don't know what it is about him, but every time I see him, hear him talk, I want to run through the wall through the guy. I want to go over there and dust off the old helmet and shoulder pads, and I want to jump out there. I don't know. Maybe it's just the young, right? XT Gamer's in the chat. What's up, XT Gamer? He said the Texans wouldn't have even won the division if it wasn't for T-Law getting hurt at the end of the season. So it's dumb to say that the Texans will repeat. XT Gamer is a Jacksonville Jaguars fan, if you guys do not know. But he says the only reason why the Texans won was because Trevor Lawrence got hurt. Didn't Trevor Lawrence play all those games? I don't think Trevor Lawrence missed a game, did he? Maybe one. But Trevor Lawrence getting hurt did not cost him the game or the division. What cost him was just their pure lack of ability to score the football. John says you are overestimating the Colts sub 500 team. Colts are a sub 500 team in 2024? No way. No freaking way, John. Now, they might be a 500 team, 8-1. Give me that tie. But do you consider, obviously sub 500 would be 7-9. Do you think they're a 7-win team? I think they're at least an 8-9 win team. Well, hell, even 8-9 is sub 500. So, I guess. Drew says, I'll take Stroud over T-Law any day. Stroud was injured as well. Don't forget that. When did CJ Stroud get injured? I don't remember him ever getting injured. XD Gamer, too long of a chat here, but I will read it for you here. He says, I'll admit the Texans got better, but the Texans' moves have been mostly defense, and their offense won't be much difference besides the run game. The Jags offense is going to be better next season. So you want to talk about moves? Let's talk about moves. The Houston Texans got a hell of a lot better on defense. Not only did they sign one of the best defensive ends in the NFL in Danielle Hunter, they drafted another top defensive end in Will Anderson last season. Think about that 1-2 punch. Will Anderson was being double-teamed damn near every play. You bring Danielle Hunter in there, Will Anderson's about to explode off the map. Explode off the map. Yes, you only added a running back, but you added a pretty damn good running back in Joe Mixon. Rushed for 1,000 yards last season. Did Travis Etienne rush for 1,000 yards last season? I don't think he did. You had a nice little 1-2 punch to Dameon Pierce and Joe Mixon. Bada bing, bada boom, to the moon, baby. How about this? Last season, the Texans wide receiver, the best receiver, should have probably been rookie of the year in Tank Dell, or comeback player of the year. I think he had cancer or something, but either way, broke his leg like week 12. Tank Dell, the number one receiver for the Houston Texans, missed the final 8 games of the season with the broken leg. So I understand you are trying to defend your Jacksonville Jaguars. They added Gabe Davis. Still don't have Calvin Ridley back. Who's your number one receiver? Gabe Davis is a good number 2, good number 3. Who's you going to be number 1? And don't say Calvin Ridley because they haven't signed him yet. There are teams out there that are pulling for some Calvin Ridley. Patriots want them some Calvin Ridley. Money talks. So to say the Jacksonville Jaguars got better on offense, no. Right now they're digressing. The biggest addition that they could have added this season was Mac Jones. You want to win? Bench Trevor Lawrence and put Mac Jones in. That'll be the game changer. So you know it's going to be the Jags division next season. My Jags strive on as the underdog. Listen, the Jaguars strive when the games are easy. You talk about Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys.